Welcome to the completely unplanned book review for Service Model by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I really hope I said his name right this time. Half the time I do, half the time I don't. This is just going to be a small little review, I think, because I just enjoyed this book so much, and I get why it's going to be a good book for some people, and some people might be like, ugh. But it was highly enjoyable, so I'm going to tell you about it and let you form your own opinion, and hopefully go pick it up, because it was just, yes. To me. Okay, I was able to get this book very last minute, so it was totally pushed off everything on my TBR. That's also why this was unplanned. Now, what is Service Model about? If you've seen it before or heard the description, you might have heard the Murderbot comparisons. Based off some of the reviews I have seen already on Goodreads, some people are agreeing with that. Having not read Murderbot myself and only having heard about it, I didn't see it. But if other people are saying that they agree, okay. Those who have read Murderbot, maybe check this out and let me know in the comments what your thoughts on it were. The book, though, is following our main character, Charles the valet. He is a human-facing robot. That means he has been programmed and integrated with a bit more than your average service robot, because he is supposed to, serve the master of the house, communicate, be able to hold a little bit of discussions with them about current events, if that is what their master wants. And Charles loves being a valet. He loves serving people, and he goes about his task list in a very efficient manner, except for the fact that some of his tasks and instructions do cause inefficiency and slowdown as they have become redundant over the years, but nobody has thought to change those. And this is some of the first times we'll get to see Charles think of, well, this could be better, but since nobody has told me to do that, I will just keep doing this anyway. And throughout the whole book, Charles is really just trying to complete his task list. He just wants to have that satisfaction of checking every task off and that, happiness, but he's not programmed to be happy, so he just considers it a satisfaction. But still, it's odd that a robot would feel satisfaction. It's programmed into the robots, though, to complete their task list. Every single service model, every single robot that they come across, they have this urge to complete the task that they were created to do. And so this is something that comes up a good bit in the book, as they are sometimes trying to get out of situations, is that they will be like, well, if this happens, then you won't be able to complete your task. Or you could go do this and it would make your tasks easier. And the robots happily just, or not happily, but they just go about, the easiest way to get their tasks done. And that allows situations to occur. So in Charles as our main protagonist, it is just a very interesting viewpoint, because he sees the world in this certain way, and because he is a gentle robot, so there is rose-tinted glasses, I suppose, of how he sees the world. Even when he does encounter the outside destruction of the world, it's still, well, I can find someone to work for. Because that is Charles's whole goal through the entire book, is to find another human to be a valet for. Even as obstacles occur, even as it seems impossible, and it seems like not the best course of action anymore, that is Charles's task. He just wants to be of service, because that is what he's made for, and he wants to be able to do what he was made for. And a lot of people would see this as like, then he's not character growth. There's not. But it is a little bit different. You will see hints of that in as much as a robot can. I still think it was really well done in that regards, because we don't have to see him, being more human, being more free will, to still see him, accepting how his situation changed and what made it change, and just adapting. That is, it's eventually where the story gets, is how Charles adapts to his environment, and still what makes him happy in the way that, he's not programmed to be happy. While the whole story is in Charles's mind, there are several characters that come and go, but the one that will stick to him, not prove him, through the whole story is going to be the Wonk, which is a robot that he encounters at Central Services, and realizes that this is a highly defective and irregular robot, but their interactions will really provide a lot of I don't know what the right word is there. It shows a lot of the humor, and it is a kind of a dry humor, a sarcastic humor, and some of it's not the conflict, but it is what will create a little bit of internal conflict for Charles, because it will think on the things that the wonk keeps saying and trying to logically and effectively process this data. I think it is a good relationship, a buddy thing as they go along on their journey, because the way the book is set out and it is broken down into 5 different parts, this is a journey story. It might not seem like that going in from the description. The book itself takes Charles, and it's about Charles just trying to find a human to be of service to, because from the beginning Charles is in a manor house serving an older gentleman as his gentle robot valet, and going about the tasks of a valet, travel arrangements, laying out clothing, being a general body servant, like helping his master get dressed, bringing food, shaving him, when an unexpected incident occurs and completely throws off Charles's task list. And from that, and trying to move past the incident and not think about the incident, he just wishes to find another human to be a valet for. However, as the world is kind of ending and humanity has, pretty much been eliminated from the planet, this is proving incredibly difficult for Charles to find a new human to serve. But that is our journey from place to place, as we do travel to 5 different locations, I think. 4 different locations, because we started the manor. So I think we traveled to about 4 different locations, and each section of the book is going to be at a different location. As he's traveling there, he is trying to complete this task list of finding, what is defective, finding a person to serve, finding information about what's happening. That's not really his task. That's the wonk's task. But he goes along because he thinks where they are trying to find information, there will be someone to help him find employment again. And as he keeps going and keeps getting met with a sort of failure, rejection / failure, and he doesn't even get discouraged. It's just part of him thinks that maybe this is a fruitless task, impossible task, but he persists. Even in the odds are super stacked against him, he persists until we get to our final destination and see the culmination of everything. And through each section, and something that I did not pick up on as much is that each part of the book is named after an author in a roundabout way, letter number combinations. I didn't notice this at all, but it's mentioned in several of the reviews, so I'm assuming other people can get that idea very quickly. And each section is taking a little bit from that author's style of philosophicalness, because in true Tchaikovsky fashion, this is looking at things that wants you to question of what is humanity, what is free will, intelligence, justice system, on this course of action as we are set in this world, and beautiful details are given in depth that is slowly uncovered, though never fully, because it's saying that that is an ephemeral question of what brought down humanity. It was not one thing. It was not just humans' greed and laziness and not caring about your neighbor, because we have no idea where exactly this book takes place. It's just some made up thing on earth, some made up place. But you can see how the manor houses where we start are still in a much better condition than the wider world that went to decay much faster because the rich people isolated themselves and just did not care that the world was going to crap. One of the things that I did not fully understand, or I didn't think it grasped a very good sense of time in, though, was the fact that Charles's manor was still in such decent repair, but some of the others had fallen into way more disrepair, and the level of destruction of the city, and then the huge level of destruction of the wasteland, which that one it kind of answered because, these people over here made sure that, they would be fine. And so that was already getting bombed out, wars, stuff like that. But the full level of disrepair here was a bit odd, because Charles's master, even as an older man and somebody else, another human character he came across, it didn't describe that they were too old, but they didn't understand how the world above was either. So How did everything fall to heck that quickly? Like, it doesn't make much sense. For me, I really enjoyed Charles's story. I found him funny, even though in a lot of the ways he wasn't trying to be funny. It's just the way that he would get them out of situations was very true to what I, could picture a robot doing. Like, they're logically taking steps and just trying to take, follow their task list, and this ends up helping them out because he is requested, somebody said, help me, and like, he's like, I don't know why I should, but if I do this, and like, he works around something, and he's like, this helps me to get my task done. And now the person is, no longer in the trouble that they were in. It just so many like logical steps, and I found it extremely amusing myself. And the book ended up being a 4.5 stars because at some points, I guess I could already talk about the pacing. Some parts did feel a little slower than others, or slightly maybe, why do we have to go through this? Because this is slightly irritating. This doesn't seem necessary when we've already seen this. Overall though, I still really enjoyed it. I had so much fun reading through the book, and it read kind of fast to me. Like, I don't remember how long it was, but it went by pretty quickly, personally. And I've heard that the author himself narrates the audiobook and that it was excellent. Unfortunately, I did not get it. Hopefully you've been encouraged to go pick this up. I know that it's not going to be for everyone in the way that some people don't like specific styles of humor or styles of anything really. But I hope that you have been encouraged to go pick this up. As far as I know, it is going to be a standalone novel, and it wraps up very well. And if you enjoyed this video, you can check out some of my other reviews and subscribe. That way you can come back for more content. Every Monday we do the new releases video. We're doing vlogs this summer. All the books, all the things. I hope you're finding something awesome to read today, and I'll see you in the next one.